fact, we must constrain William Ruto to running if he gets to the next general election, that he runs against his own record and not against an individual candidate. It will be him, his record against the Kenyan people. That is the kind of political architecture we want to put in place. And that is what my desire is, that the next general election will be the incumbents against their records and the Kenyan people. Once we are able to do that, they have no escape route. That is really what we must be able to do. We must calm ourselves down. We must sober up and say, okay, we want him to go now. We want it to be Haftar. But in the event that we do not achieve that for one reason or another, then we need to be very, very strategic in how we get out of the different rooms we are in so that we strategize and we all work together. And it does not matter. I want to sound a warning that whoever comes in will be held by the same standard, if not a higher one, than William Ruto. Because the time for playing mind games and thinking that it is business as usual for the Kenyan people and you can cheat your way to power, and when you get there, you start, excuse me, and when you get there, you start doing other things. It has to be right. We must continue to agitate. We must never give up. We must never lose hope, and we must never settle for anything less than we deserve as a Kenyan people. And the reference point at all times, fellow Kenyans, is the Constitution of Kenya. And if we have any doubt, let us refer to the Constitution of Kenya. And if it is too much to read, then let us narrow it down to chapter 4 of that document, which is the Bill of Rights. That is where everything starts and ends. And then Article 232 on the values and principles of public service, and Article 81, which defines our democratic institution and structure and everything that we should be looking out for as we go through these processes. That is really the bare minimum, and that should be the baseline from where everything stems. Otherwise, we will get distracted, and there is the likelihood of the system confusing us. And in that miasma, then we get lost, and before we know it, they are back in office, and they will start telling us how we should be sympathetic to them, and the Stockholm syndrome, and how they are there to stay. We should never allow ourselves to get into that. I appreciate the opportunity to articulate this position, and pardon me if I may have stretched it a little bit in terms of
Okay.
time, but I think it is very important that we make this very, very crystal clear for the country to have a clear direction on what we want
Yes.
moving forward and how we achieve it. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Milton. We are on the top of the hour. Hillary, over to you as we start cycling for the closing remarks. Thank you. Hillary? Bonik, you can hear me?
I can hear you, my friend.
Go ahead. We are at the top of the hour. You can give your closing statements, and then we start moving on that order. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that I need to tell anyone of what they already know, which is that we live in a lawless purgatory. We're in a lawless state. We need to understand that. And we have the power to change our circumstances. You know, when you're going through what we're going through right now as a country where our constitution means nothing, all those rights in the constitution don't mean a damn thing if they don't protect you and I, right? None of us can say for certain that you're going to wake up in the morning tomorrow, not because you might die, but because the government might decide to come and pick you up, both in communicado, take away your rights. And so it is upon us to make sure that we guard our constitution, that we protect it, and we reject people that are taking advantage of it to create a hostile Kenya for us. So it's upon us. Every one of us can play a part. You have to look in yourself and ask yourself, what role can I play? Some of us can articulate these issues in the media. Some of us are going to be better at educating our fellow citizens. Some of us are better as leaders. Look in yourself and ask yourself what role you can play, and then step up when your country needs you. Our country needs all of us today to serve it, to make sure that we reject what's happening. We strengthen our constitution. So play your role. Play your role. Thank you.
Thank you, asante sana. Briscope, your parting shot.
Um, I don't have too much on my parting shot, but I will say, by the way, I am a registered voter in Dagoretti South, KJ's district. So if and when Dagoretti and my fellow Dagoretians are ready to recall, and my fellow activists are ready to support a candidate, I am ready to stand up in 2027. And I say that only half jokingly, maybe not in 2027, but at some point, because we do have to step up, right? We can't just keep asking for the leaders that we want to step up, where, some of us need to be those leaders. We need to be who we are waiting for. And then the other thing I will stress upon again is that we have to be accountable, and we also have to be very clear about our ideas. We have to be very clear about the policy positions that we want. And actually, I am of the opinion that we do need lofty ideas, because we should aim for the stars. Even if we hit the moon, then so be it. But we should shoot high, absolutely, because Kenyans deserve it. The Kenyan economy is really running. The expenditure, the cost of living, everything is not different than many Western countries, or at the very least European, even if it's European countries and Asian countries. Our economy is really, really running on high amounts of money that should be doing a lot more for our country. But we do have to be accountable. We do have to ask more of ourselves. We do have to inform ourselves, and we do have to actually pick on an ideology that we want to see executed for the Kenya we want. Thank you.
Asante sana, asante sana. He should be running for office, and make sure to sign Pasari's record. Malia, over to you. Malia, can you hear me? Okay, let's go to Dr. Kimani. Dr. Kimani, your closing statement before we
Yeah,
cycle to Milton.
Asan Sana, Abdi, and Hilary there. So I think as we come to the top of the hour, I think we have an agreement that recall is not an option now. It is the only thing that we have on the table as of now. And this is because our members of parliament have proved to be quite incompetent in whatever they do. They do not know how to legislate, to oversight, and to they cannot represent. That's because whatever they're representing does not seem to be going according to our needs. And as I said, and I have always said, being, the aspirant gubernatorial candidate for Nyandarua County, time has come, to be honest. And as I said, and I will continue saying, we have to hold people into account and be able to answer and ask those very serious questions. The things that have happened in Kenya must not be repeated by the generations that we are going to give birth to, or the generations thereafter. I know each generation has got their own struggle, but we must make sure the generation that we are in today make it easier for the next one that is coming, after us. In that case, we must do the right thing. And the right thing is by scrutinizing and making sure that responsible people who have got Kenya at heart, have got the leadership positions in that country. And that is yours, truly, Kimani, the gubernatorial candidate for Nyandarua counties. Thank you so much, Abdi and Hilary, and all the speakers as well, and listeners.
Asante sana, asante sana. Always good to have emerging leaders. We also have Governor Kiambu, an emerging leader born there. you as the governor, Nyandarua, and then a brief scoop here we go. Thank you. I think it's good always to step up. Malia, over to you. Are you hearing me?
Yes, I
Malia?
can hear you.
Okay,
I
go
can hear
ahead.
you.
What's your final thought?
Yeah, as I've said, let's be more proactive, let's be more organized. Even as we are coming closer to the due date for elections, we want candidates who don't see us as the people who they give handouts and therefore feel the entitlement to misuse our taxes to pay themselves back with interest. So, and if we want people with integrity, probably those people are not going to be people who can be dishing out a lot of money. They're going to be people who are just of not of big means, you know. So we're gonna have to support them, and supporting is not only financial. We're gonna need to support them with our skills, and this needs a lot of organization. So that if you are going to put across or nominate somebody to go for that seat, that top seat, we need to rally around the person in our various professions. We need to offer them our services. We need to offer them our time. We need to campaign for them and all these things, because we are very many and we can do a lot if we are organized. So we just need to be organized, because our country, the positive thing that has happened since June 2024 is that we have moved towards higher levels of citizen participation. We now want to own our country. We don't want our country to just be left to some few people who can mismanage. We all want to be involved in the building of our nation. We all want to be involved in taking our nation to the next level. So I think what I can ask my fellow Kenyans is that let's come up. I'm sure each and every one of us, there's something which we have to offer. There's a skill that we can offer which can be able to make our dream to have good leaders come true. Thank you very much.
Asante sana. Asante sana. Dr. Milton, 2 minutes. Your final thought? Dr. Milton?
I'll probably take less than that. I think I have elucidated my point in the last statement that I made. All I want to ask for is for consistency, confidence in what we are asking for, and each one of us to be the ambassador of the message that we want our people to believe in. And more importantly, we must be able to resist the intimidation and blackmail of bastardizing our voices. We have to be very, very steadfast. We have to tell them off, and we have to refuse to be bullied, because that is the new idea that William Ruto has. And lastly, I think is to make a high. This is a higher calling. I know not many people have spoken about it, but I want to remind us that when we are in fights like this, they become spiritual. And the spiritual aspect is what you're seeing from William Ruto now saying they want to build a church. So we need to call evil for what it is. It is okay to call him Kasongo, to call him Zakayo, to call him all these other names. But I think at the end of the day, for us to connect with destiny from a spiritual perspective, we need to call him by his name, William Ruto. And that is very important. And as we do that, the overriding principle and fact is that William Ruto is not just William Ruto, the individual or the person, is everything that he represents, which is lawlessness, impunity, corruption, bad governance, and social injustice. That is what he represents. And when we say one term, when we say William Ruto must go, that is what we mean. That is not just the person, it is everybody else and everything else that comes with his philosophy or lack of it from a governance perspective or point of view, as it were. That is all I want to say. Let's keep engaging. We look forward. We will let you know when we have the opportunity to sit down with Wamunyoro, and we will ask whether he can join this space next week on Sunday, because I know people have questions to ask, so that we have an opportunity to engage and interact with him collegiate, as opposed to when I mean, I would be speaking, I will try to ask all your questions as you send them to me when the opportunity comes. But I think it is only fair that we get them to come and speak. Uh, Thank you, Hillary. Thank you, Abdi. Thank you, fellow Kenyans, for listening. And as we say, a luta continua, we have to continue liberation struggle and viva.
Thank you, Dr. Mittal. Thank you, fellow citizens, for showing up tonight, not just with your voices, but with your truth, your pain, and unwavering resolve. What we have had tonight is not just an outrage; it's a nation waking up, a people reclaiming their power. We are not powerless. We are not voiceless. We are not certainly not hopeless. We have been lied to, exploited, pushed to the edge, but we are still here, still standing, still rising. The filing of a recall petition is not the end, it's just the beginning. It's our declaration that we will no longer tolerate betrayal in silence, that we will use every constitutional tool available to us, that we are organized, principled, and relentless. Let this moment mark the turning point of the tides, from the fear to courage, from silence to resistance, from survival to real transformation. And to the powers that be, let this echo in your corridors of comfort. The people are not afraid. We are awake. We are united. We are done watching your plunder. And what belongs to us belongs to us. And we leave this space not with despair, but with determination, because Kenya is worth fighting for. Because justice is not a request, it's a right. And because history is watching, will not be found wanting. Until next Saturday, stay loud, stay brave, stay mobilized. The revolution is ours to finish. Thank you. Good night. Viva. Over to you, Hillary. Hillary, I think we lost Hillary. Okay, so I would say everybody can leave at his own pleasure, and then
Yes,
yeah.
Abdi, I'm sorry about that. Yeah, I thank you guys for joining again the pressure point today. We really appreciate your presence, and always every Sunday we are here to make sure that the program is running, and also we are looking all these things, and all these people will bring them on board to see and hear what they're saying as we make a decision as Kenyans. God bless you, and be together always, and keep it alive, and follow each other all the time, so that we can keep on the conversation. More so, let us focus and let's set our goals correctly, guys. May God bless.